Er komt nog iemand binnen. Timmy's, het gaat in het Engels zijn. So by this, we will speak in English because we have a special guest tonight. And I'm so excited for her. I'd like to introduce her to you guys because we spoke with her together in Orlando last year on stage, and this is why we met her. And so grateful we met her because like she speaks our language. And that's why we invited her for you guys. Like Adriana, she's 3-star Golden Circle, 3-star Crystal Executive. She's living in sunny Florida in the US. So jealous. And she is a wife. She loves, she's also a mom. So she's a mom and a wife. She's an equestrian lover, and she loves quantum physics. And that's one of the reasons why we invited her today for the team call to talk a little bit about that, and that she can share everything she wants to share and to share consciousness into this world. So thank you so much, Adriana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, this beautiful team. Look at all of you. Wow, there's so many on here. Thank you, Ilse and Tim, for inviting me. It was so awesome to be able to share the stage with you both at Celebration. Like, it was so nice to meet you both and be able to sit beside each other. Our energy just feels very aligned, and it felt just so natural. So thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm so excited for being here, everyone. And if you may hear, I sound a little bit congested. So I don't know if it's either illness or allergies. I don't know. I've never had allergies before, but apparently the pollen's really bad in Florida right now. But legend has it that when you get sick, so this is a perspective flip on when you're not feeling yourself, is that you are shedding layers that no longer serve you. You are evolving. And apparently the sicker you are, the more that you're evolving, which makes sense because you're getting tougher, you're getting stronger, right? So even just that perception flip of you not feeling your best could totally change everything. So anyways, that's why I sound like this right now. So please excuse me. But I would love to just start, of course, with sharing my story. I said no to Isagenix for 6 years. I grew up with my parents both as bus drivers, very blue collar, not the best money mindset. I graduated in grade 13. I was kicked out of school. I've always been a rebellion. I've always gone to the beat of my own drum. But for some reason, I was never in trouble. It's like, Adriana, we're so sorry, but you can't do this. So you have to leave, but we really are sorry about it. Like, I've always been very charismatic, and I will always say that degrees, networking will open more doors for you than any degrees ever will. It's really about who you are as a person, your energy, your magnetism, and it can get you so far. And I had my son when I was young. I was 20 years old when I had my son. I have 2 kids now. They're 12 and 2. And at the time, I was really uneducated about finances and fitness and everything. And so I was in a very toxic relationship that didn't really serve me. And so I started to fall in love with fitness because that was the only thing that I could control was my fitness, what I put inside my body, how much I exercise. And through fitness, I gained my independence back. I gained the confidence to create my independence. And that's why I'm so passionate about fitness, is because it gave that back to me. And when my son's father wanted to move to Europe, where he's at now, I said, I want to move back to Vancouver. I don't want to be your +1 forever. And so I created my journey of independence on my own. And I started to bodybuild, competing in bikinis. So I know Michael Bocart, that's something very near and dear to his heart too. So I won the Arnold Classic, which is the world's largest amateur bodybuilding show in the world. And that really catapulted me into being online, fitness, and finding myself that way. But in the background, my girlfriend was asking me or telling me about this isogenic stuff, and it's so amazing. And I was like, wow, that's great. She's like, yeah. So she was actually chasing me around a park with our kids. They were really young at the time. And she's like, look at this lookbook. Look at all these transformations. Look at all these products. It's like, wow. She's like, yeah. So want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm a bodybuilder. I got it going on. I don't need a meal replacement shake. Don't need this. So I said no for 6 years. until I could no longer live the lifestyle that I was living. I was putting so much effort in the gym. I was eating right. I was eating chicken, broccoli, rice. But I was so inflamed. I was so lethargic. I was so fatigued. I had no social life. So I said, okay, I'll order one of those 30-day systems, but I'm not telling a soul about it. I was not going to do the business. This was not for me. 2 weeks in, as the story always goes, right? It just happened for me. My stomach was going in instead of being pushed out from being so bloated. My energy was through the roof and my workouts were insane. I was recovering so much quicker. I had a lot more energy. So I started to share it with my clients, my in-person personal training clients. And that was the only thing that they changed was swapping what they were doing for their Isagenix products. And they were getting all amazing results too. So that proves to me, okay, there's something here. It's not just me, like other people can get results too. So I brought it online to social media, and that's when, boom, it really exploded. And so I was able to hit executive in 30 days. And Isagenix really did change my life. And I know that it sounds so ironic and you hear it all the time, but to put into perspective how it really has changed my life is on my visa, my American visa. I'm Canadian, I'm from Canada, but I was able to prove through my Isagenix business that I am an entrepreneur through Isagenix, and that's how I'm in America, is through my Isagenix business. So it didn't just change my life, like it literally changed my life. I live in sunshine 24/7. I have dolphins in my backyard. I love my life so much. I wake up and I'm so grateful. I wake up to my paychecks. It's like, I cannot believe this is in here. This is way too good to be true, but it is true, right? And now I had a childhood passion of riding horses. And now I finally just bought my own horse. My Monday money that comes in pays for my horse, pays for the board, all the things. We know it's an expensive sport, but it's all good. I have the funds to cover it. I don't need to look or worry about that anymore. And that's really been able to help me develop my true purpose, which I believe is to raise human consciousness and to let people be aware of the laws of the universe in which we are all bound by at all times with no exception. And I just want to say right now that regardless of what your faith is on this call, all I want to say is that whatever guides your North Star, that makes sure that you're a good person with a good heart, very loving, that's amazing for you. And we may have different perspectives, and that's okay. But I just honor anyone who has a North Star, a higher power, a higher consciousness, a faith, a God. Like that really is my North Star. And so I just want to share that with you today. So, in the beginning, I will say at the beginning of my Isagenix career, I was like super, super intense because you're trying to build momentum, right? Like you're learning something new. You have to build momentum. But I was 100% messy action. Every single call I got on, I was drawing the compensation plan. I had the giant whiteboard. I was drawing it out, circles everywhere. And I got way more no's than yeses, of course. But that was just the beginning of my hustle. I had to learn through, crashing and burning and learning. And I say this with so much love, but at the time, my enrolling sponsor is no longer here. And that's okay. It just was a misalignment. But I didn't stop because of my enrolling sponsor not being there. I actually learned how to draw our Isagenix compensation plan off of a YouTube video, off of Emily Vavra's YouTube video. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can figure it out. So I just figured it out. I just started drawing. I crashed and burned. It was terrible, but I did it. I was hosting tons of events and I was sharing everything on social. Like if I was taking an Isagenix product, I was pointing a phone at it, posting it, and putting it up online. So I have built my business basically 100% online. But I will say that there's so much power in person. Like that is absolute, because people get to feel your energy. They get to experience you in real time. There's not someone just behind a screen. But I will say I did grow my entire business online, and I'm just here to speak my truth. So, if it aligns with some, that's great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Take what you want and leave the rest. But I did build my whole business online. I shared everything. And during COVID in 2020, I was hosting free online workouts for anyone for an hour every day at 11 a.m. for 6 months straight. Every day for 6 months straight, I hosted a free online workout because I know that community is what keeps people. Community is our key differentiator between you and anybody else. And when people need something, who do they think of? You want them to think of you. You're there for them. So I was really there for people during that time. And I'm very proud of that. You know, I served, and it felt really great to do that. But I will say now I have set pretty solid boundaries, because how many of you can really relate with working really in your business? It's like 24/7, 365. It's like all day, every day, right? And it becomes a lot, and it's necessary. I will say it's absolutely necessary as you're building up this momentum, right? But I told you I grew up not with like very good money mindset, no business skills, anything. So I really had to learn business skills and ethics. I took it upon myself. I said, I really want to treat this like a business. I don't know how to run like a business. I don't know how to speak like a business. I don't know how to do reach outs. Like, I don't know how to do these things, which bless that we do have mentorship here. But I also really want to encourage you all to take learning upon yourself, and somewhere that you may really struggle with, to face it head on, because there's no way it's going to get any better, and take it upon yourself to learn so you can teach it forward. Right? So now I have really solid boundaries. So just being honest, I created an online university, which I think I heard from Michael was speaking on stage before. You guys have something similar like this. I'm not sure, but I did create like videos that I found that I was saying all the time. I recorded myself, I put it into a Kajabi back end. That's where I run things through. So now when I have somebody get started, they go through their videos, they come onto a call with me, which I set myself to 30 minutes twice a month is like what you receive. Because how many of you before have like done calls and calls and calls with people, and it just, you're like, wow, I put so much effort into this person and they completely fell through, right? And it's everybody's on their own journey, and I'm just speaking my truth as to how I run things, but to each your own. It might not be right for you, but that is just how I've had to do it for myself, is to set firm boundaries. And I find that when you're actually a little bit less available, people respect that time a little bit more, but that's only just been through my journey. So I created the university, and now we run everything through a WhatsApp group. So we have have you seen now, like on WhatsApp, you can have a community. It's really beautiful. I love it. Like, so we have financial health in there. We have a sisterhood support group, brotherhood support group, and product questions. And so we run everything through a WhatsApp group. Every single month, we run out a free exercise program to anyone that's in the community. Why? Because I believe in overshooting value, so that people always stay. If people need an exercise program, if they need something, they got it here. There's no need to look out somewhere else, right? So really overstating your values, that's where I run through everything. Is everything okay? Cool. So I run everything through a WhatsApp group. That's how I do it. I'm just giving you the ins and outs of like how I run my business. And I will say that I've been, you know, top enroller, top recruiter, Start 1000, top 2 leader in action Canada, number 6 globally. Like I've earned all of the things, but I am now very solid and steady. Like, if there's one thing I can say really confidently, is that my cycles don't really fluctuate. It is a slow burn. I'm just being honest. In the beginning, it was really fast and really momentous, but I really like burned myself to the ground, and I had to learn how to step back to step forward and learn what feels good for me, honor my boundaries, my intuition, see what I feel like people really need, not what is expected of me, create things for myself. And now I live in true flow. And I'm telling you, when I live in true flow, I wake up at 4:30 every day to spend time with my highest self routine, which we're going to walk through, because that's my really big takeaway that I'd love for all of you to walk away from today, is having your own highest self routine. We'll get into it. I do my highest self routine, and then I work from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that's it. Because I have kids, I like to spend time with them in the evening, so on and so forth, right? So you will most likely have to step into zones and areas and workmanship of yourself that you never knew possible in the beginning of your business, because you're really trying to build and make something of yourself. But what I can say is it's absolutely worth it. I moved to America because of this company. I get paid on Mondays every single day. And whether I was getting paid from this company or not, I swear to you, I would still be a product user whether I was getting paid or not, because I really do believe in our products. There is no other product on the market like ours. And trust me, I was in the fitness industry. I looked in and out at labels. I am a true product of the product. I straight up take 2 shakes a day, every single day. Nootropics is a non-negotiable. Ionics, you name it, Isoflush, Accelerator, oh, I'm doing another collagen 30-day run with hair revival right now, hyaluronic acid, my Lord. I saw you guys just got Biobiotics, like Triotic, all of it. I am a true product of the product. You will not find anything else in my cupboard. If it's not Isogenics, I don't want it because I don't trust anything else but our company. And that's just straight up. So, you know, the first reflection for yourself, are you a true product of the product? Do you truly believe in what you're sharing with people? Are you truly sharing from an authentic perspective that, you know, even if you weren't getting paid from it, would you recommend it to people, right? It's not our responsibility to decide if somebody will or will not do something. It's our moral responsibility and obligation to share what has worked for us in a way that is loving and compassionate. And if the other person wants to, you know, take that on, great, that's amazing. If they don't, that's okay too, right? So anyways, my passion is the laws of the universe. We're going to share that into that. That's what I really love coaching people on. And I apply quantum physics into my business. So this is the three that I love to always remind people. Business is spiritual, money is energy, and sales is service. So breaking it down, business is spiritual. What do I mean by that? Your business will only grow as much as you do, as much as you raise your consciousness. And I mean like an actual fact, because a lot of people think that matter changes matter, you know, like the real changes the real. It doesn't work like that. Frustration does not change frustration. You must raise your vibrational frequency to come to a place of understanding, love, compassion, to be able to change this frustration. Frustration will not change frustration. So what I mean is business is spiritual because it requires you to elevate your consciousness. It is literally quantum physics to understand that in order to change the outcome, you can't just say, okay, I want to have 100 people in my organization, boom, it's done. No, you must first raise your consciousness, which is your awareness, your knowledge, your intuition, the ability to trust yourself, gratitude, right? To then expand your energy, because everything in life is energy, which okay, fine. How about like this? Remember, let's go back to kindergarten. Remember, they teach us solids, liquids, and gas, right? Solids, liquid, and gas. What is it? Gas is just a vibrating atom, super fast. We can't even see it, right? Okay, liquid is that atom that's vibrating a little bit slower. Now it's liquid. Okay, a solid is still an atom that's vibrating, just very, very slow, right? So we know everything is energy. So if we know that we are a toroidal field, this means like the energy comes in and out like this, right? The truth is that abundance is trying to come to us, prosperity is trying to come to us, love is trying to come to us. It's not an outward action of trying to get those things. It is removing the blocks so they can flow to you effortlessly. It's like, it's trying to come to you. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the network. I'm not good at social media. I don't, You put up all these blocks, which are not truth. That is what you're believing. That is the frequency that you have. The universe is a beautiful thing. It's just a boomerang. You're going to boomerang that right out and it's going to give it right back to you. It's going to be your truth. When that's not your truth, that is just a thought. Thoughts are, it's called the observer effect, right? Who's heard of the observer effect? Put the 111 in the chat if you ever heard the observer effect, right? It's like you must be the observer observing the program in the mind. You are not the thought. You are the person observing the thought. Is this true? Am I really not good at money? Am I really not smart enough? No, that's not true. I just am learning. I just don't have those skills yet. Okay, so I'm willing to invest in that. I'm willing to put in the time to learn those things, right? So that's my short explanation of what energy is. So first, bringing it back, we must raise our consciousness to expand our energy field, which, like a thermograph, you've seen before where it's like, you know, a photo of someone and it's like blue in the cold spots and red in the hot spots of people. You can measure your auric field, which is your electromagnetism. You can actually measure that. So raising your consciousness is actually the term to expanding your electromagnetic field, which is your energy, which is now going to change matter. And we'll get into how to really do those things. But this is like my first tip on how business is spiritual. That's really how, okay? So aligning your vibration to the chosen outcome. And I think the number one thing with business is spiritual is always to remember that patience pays. When you're always trying to rush, and you think that something has to be this way and get that way, you actually strangle your dream and you actually give out the vibrational frequency of lack and distrust, because it can only be this way, happen this way, and it must, when really you must set the intention of desired outcome, but let go of how it happens, because it can happen in a multitude of different ways, because you trust that that is your destiny. This is what's meant for you. So you must be patient, and patience pays. So don't always be in a rush. And that's what I got to say about ISA, how to roll that into here is, you know, you may have big dreams and goals of being, you know, this star, that star, max out, all the things, but on what timeline? Are you going to give up if it doesn't happen in the amount of time that you have set out for yourself? Because if that's the truth, you most likely are not going to succeed at that, because you think it's only going to happen this way. You have to be here for the long game. I've been here since 2017, November 2017. And like I said, it's a slow burn now, but it pays me every Monday. I'm very grateful for it. It gives me the life of abundance. I'm able to move over here, and I will never, ever not be isogenics. That's just a straight up fact. So patience, be patient with your build, have belief in what you're doing, have belief in who you're helping, and just trust that if you're not at said desired outcome, it's only because you are needing to learn a lesson to get there. That's all. So what an amazing thought or perspective change to think that, okay, if I'm not at where I think I should be, oh my gosh, what an opportunity I have to learn to become that person that has that thing. You get to evolve, you get to become better, right? So that's how business is spiritual. Now, money is energy. We went through that. Like, I just want to remind you that money is not money. Like, if you think that money is like a 3D, you know, no, money is just energy. It's the same thing as you, same thing as me, same thing as the air, same thing as everything. Money is just energy. That's it. So you must elevate your frequency to be able to match that desired outcome and feel it, right? Feel what it would feel like to max out your business center or to hit the 1-star, the 2-star. How would you feel? What would actually change in your life? You cannot come into the future thinking in the past is like, it hasn't happened for me before. So many people have said, no, I'm nervous to take this call. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you're living in the past. You're just going to repeat that. You have to come into every moment as a disconnect, as whatever happens, happens. I'm going to serve at my highest degree. Whatever this person needs, I'm going to give. And however that unfolds is how it's meant to unfold. I believe in who I'm becoming. And I know this sounds so ironic, but each no is getting me closer to my yes, right? It's so cheesy, but like, it's actually the truth, because you're just learning until you get to where you'd like to be, right? And then sales is service. Oh, wow. I love to think that sales is service, because if you change your perspective as like, I must make this sale, I need this money, like, that is a really dense energy. But when you're coming from a place like, I'm here to serve, which again, sounds so cheesy. We hear it all the time, but maybe this is the time that you hear it that really changes for you, that it really changes, right? So sales is service. I would like to share with you the 5 laws of success. So they're the 5 universal laws of success. And I want to remind you, we are bound by laws. I remember law of gravity, right? So we are bound by universal laws with no exception, whether you like it or not. It is just the truth. It just is. Okay. So the more that you befriend it and you understand it, the more that you can manipulate it for your best outcome. And I mean, manipulate it in a good way, right? Like for your own success, your own happiness, right? So number 1 is your law of value. So your true value is determined by how much you can give with no expectation to receive. That's what the law of value really states. You must be so willing to serve, to give with no expectation of the outcome, just with a true heart of what you really want to see happen for this person. That is the law of value. Number 2 is a law of compensation, that your true compensation is determined by how many you serve and how well you serve them. And that's a 2-part. That's really, really important to understand, because when I first got started, I was a power enroller. I was so excited. I was roll. So I was serving many, but I was not serving them well. I was not the coach that I am today, that I was before. And I carried that guilt over for a long time. I felt like, you know, I'm not the person that I am then as I am today. You know, what if I ran my name through the mud and people don't believe in my coaching because I wasn't the person? But I had to learn through that. And you know what's the ironic thing is that then I had people come back to me a few years later and be like, hey, I'd like to try isogenics again. And I was like, I love to just bring up the objection right before, like right in the face, right? Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful that you're wanting to try again. I must apologize. I was not the coach that I am today. I'm so excited to be able to show you what we have and how I can serve you. Do you know that 100% of the responses I got back were, oh, you were great. You were fine. It was just me. This happened and this happened and this happened. Like, it was just not their timing in life. I totally painted this false picture in my mind. It held me back for so long because I had guilt over it, and that wasn't the truth. So what I mean is, how many you serve, but how well you serve them. How much are you checking in with your people? How much do you actually care? How many touch points? How many conversations are you having with them that's not about isogenics? Like becoming friends with people, creating deep, genuine, true relationships. It's so important. That's what your compensation will truly be determined on. And if you think about it, it makes sense. You're serving many, right? The more the heads, more income you're going to make, but how well you serve them, that's how they're going to stay. That's how they're going to give you the referrals. This is a two-part that really determines your compensation in the fact of the laws of the universe, right? Now, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interest first before your own. And I know it's like, okay, well, how is that influence? Because if you think about who has the influence, someone who's willing to put themselves before them own selves. If you think about it, it's like if you asked a friend to paint, the room in their house, you ask them to help paint your room in your house. And the next time, they asked you to do something, you'd be like, yeah, sure, right away, no problem, because it's an exchange. You're helping each other. You're putting their needs before your own. You're helping each other, right? But John Maxwell, I love what his definition of influence is. It says that the one with the most influence is the leader. Nothing more, nothing less. Ilsa's shaking her head. She knows it, right? So that's what true influence is, right? If you're a leader, you can influence people. But how do you influence people? By the law of authenticity, which is the next one. The most valuable gift you have to offer the world is yourself. It sounds so corny, but it's so true. People can feel the fake. You can feel the fake. Your true authenticity will build influence over others. And like I said, are you a true product of the product? Are you showing your lifestyle? Or are you only putting up sales images when this and that is happening? Like, do you actually use the products? Are you influencing your community? When you are around people in person, do you have a bia in your hand? Are you having a shake? Like, are people seeing that you truly are authentically being a product of your product that you're outwardly promoting? Or when they come over to your house, do you have another brand of greens in your cupboard or another brand of protein in your cupboard? Like, people notice, they see those things. And not only do they notice, but how disalignment do you feel when you're sharing with someone? You're like, yeah, our protein's the best, but you don't even use it, right? Like, that's a complete disalignment. You're not going to have a lot of confidence sharing that, because this is not even your truth. You're going to like stutter. It's just not going to feel good. And energetically wise, the math isn't mathing. It's just not going to work, right? So the law of authenticity, just be yourself. Whether you have one favorite product or 100, whatever, it is what it is. Just be yourself. And the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is staying open to receive. And I think this is really, really huge for people, because I think a lot of us are very good at giving. We're very good at serving. But do you feel worthy to receive? Are you staying open to receive? And a really good one to even test that is, how do you receive compliments? When someone says to you, oh, Ilse, you look so beautiful today. I love your outfit. Does Ilse go, thanks, babe, you too, right? Like, does she just shoot it right back? I found a lot of power when I said to my mentors before, oh, like, you look so beautiful today, whichever. Thank you. I received that. Done. Like, do you feel like you must deflect all the time? Do you feel like you can't receive a compliment without giving one back, or else people might judge you? They might think that you don't think they look beautiful, whatever, right? So you have to always be open to receive. And this is a lot of deep-rooted stuff that usually happens in childhood too, right? Feeling worthy, feeling good enough, money mindset, and so this is where I invite you, that if you have a difficulty in being open to receive, can you receive compliments? If people offer to help you, do you receive the help? Right? So if you believe in giving, you must believe in your ability to receive. But those are the 5 laws of success. But I want to add one last one onto there because it's really important. It kind of goes with the law of receptivity, which is permission. This is where I get a little bit, okay, what do I mean by permission? By the law of free will, which is all of us in humanity. What is the law of free will? The law of free will states that nothing outside of you can harm inside of you unless you let it. Meaning, if somebody, says you're a bad person, the law of free will means that does not affect you unless you believe it. Right? So the law of free will states that nothing outside of you can harm anything inside of you unless you let it. So why is that important to know when it comes to the law of receptivity? Because of the law of free will, you actually have to give permission to receive. I'm getting goosebumps as I say this right now, so I know we're on track. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that you cannot receive unless you give permission for it, unless you're open to getting that gift, getting that abundance, getting that prosperity, getting those customers, right? So in prayer or whatever is your style of doing things, literally giving permission. I give permission to the light and the higher dimensions. Anything that is meant for me, I give full permission for all the abundance that I'm about to receive, prosperity, grace, servitude, thank you, God, and so it is, right? So, but giving permission actually does send out a vibrational frequency. It's very powerful to give permission, and that might be like the missing piece to your prayers, is actually saying, I'm open to receive, is very huge. What time is it? Okay, good. Okay, so, and if you have any questions, please, I'm open to it, okay? This is now what I'd like to help us get rooted in. This is all great information, but it means absolutely nothing if we're not going to root it and actually do something with this information, right? So something that I really find is that when people are not receiving the results that they're looking for in their life, it's because they do not have a highest self routine. They're not in alignment with themselves. Their mind is all over the place. They're super stressed out. They're not taking care of their mind, body, soul. It's all at disarray. And this is like, you don't know what's going on with you. Guess what? Universe also doesn't know what to give you. It's just like, it's a big mess, right? So we must have a highest self routine. And different motions for different oceans. What works for you might not work for another. What works for me, maybe it doesn't work for you. But I'd like to share what my highest self routine is. And then I'd like for all of you to write down right now, first bring awareness. Do you even have a highest self routine? Right? And then if you do, start writing down what it is. And I would love for shares in the chat if you'd like to share what your highest self routine is, but I'd like to share mine. So I wake up 2 hours before the sun. In a lot of like prayer meditation books, I've learned that time is very sacred. It's a lot when like the veil is thin and you have a good connection with source. And I mean, in truth, it's also a time before my kids are awake or my husband. So I get peace and quiet, right? So it makes sense for me. I like it. It feels good. So I wake up beforehand and I always read. I love to read. If you think about consciousness is downloaded. If we believe that everything is energy, it means that it's not that you're not smart enough. It's that you just don't believe that you can download the information. But I truly do believe that if I want to know how to sing a song, I just tell myself, I know the lyrics and it will come to me. I'm telling you, you can call me that crazy, but like, this is the truth, right? So reading is a really great way to start focusing in on your mind, being able to have concentration on one area. Oh, do not sleep with your phone on. Like I always do airplane mode, because the frequencies of your phone, they mess up your entire sleep cycle, your dreams, like everything. So this is also a way that you can really create healthy boundaries for yourself. I keep my phone on airplane mode until I am ready to communicate with others. I respect myself enough to do that. And I really believe that when I read a message is when I'm supposed to read a message. When I respond to a message is when I'm supposed to respond. When a person sees that, that's when they're supposed to see it. I used to live in a very like, oh my gosh, wake up, have to respond, or else they think, oh my God, lose this, da 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 da. I don't live like that anymore. I just will not do it. When I am ready, I am ready. So I really encourage you to sleep with your phone on airplane mode and start to create those healthy boundaries for yourself. Wake up a little bit earlier than you currently are so you can have that time for yourself. Then start reading. Choose a book that really aligns with you. And I will say I do have some recommendations as well. So just side quest. Okay, so I read this book. It's called, come on. No, it was so good. It was yellow and everything. Are you kidding me, Cosmos? I don't even want to be in here. Wait, go like this. Like this? Wow. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to have to take off my thing. So you're going to see behind me, I have my money tree, and you're going to see my pool in Florida and all the things. It's actually a great background, but I just like being in the cosmos better. But anyways, here we are. Okay. And that's my ISA. What is this? Top 5 recruiter. There we go. Number 2 recruiter. That was global. See, I still keep my things around. Anyways, so here. This is never split the difference, negotiating as if your life depended on it. So I'm first going to give you like the very tangible 3D skills, right? So this is really good for learning language about negotiating, right? Because, you know, I spent a year in Grant Cardone's sales course to really learn how to do sales. So also I really recommend that, like Grant Cardone, anything Grant Cardone is really good to learn sales. Like if you're in this business and you want to get better, there are tools you can learn. So this really helps you learn language and the way that the mind works. And when someone says this thing, you can say this thing. And anyways, really great. And then I don't know if you guys are into him over there as we are over here, but Alex Hormozi. Come on, you guys must know Alex Hormozi, right? So he has 2 books that are amazing, $100 million offers and $100 million leads. This in here even shows you how to do a reach out. That works. I've tried it. Okay. I've tried it. It works. It's fabulous. This is a really great business book. But if you're more of an audio person, he has a podcast. So it's called The Game by Alex Hormozi. And he believes in the law of value. He gives everything for free because he's trying to acquire big businesses. So he knows to build up his audience, he must give a bunch of stuff for free. So to build up his reputation, this book is available on audiobook for free on his podcast. So just look up The Game by Alex Hormozi, do $100 million leads and start at number 1. Change your life for real. So good. Okay. So those are just some of my favorite business books. Now, if you want to talk like elevating your consciousness, this kind of stuff, if you really want to work on like yourself, really, I mean, anything Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, right? Like if you are really trying to learn how to unwire your brain and rewire it, fire up new synaptic connections, become a whole new version of yourself, this is the it book. Really recommend. This is like step 1. Okay. If you want to read about like different dimensions and learn about like the higher powers that are here to help us, angels and whatnot, etc. Waking Up in 5D by Maureen St. Germain. Amazing book. Really, really, really good. And then if you're looking for all of the laws of success, like I just mentioned, in a business book, but in a story format, The Go-Giver. Really, really good. It's small. It's very impactful, goes over the laws and applies it into business, but it's like in a fiction, right? Like it's like a story. So those are some book recommendations that I think a lot of you would find value from. Excuse me, I'm going to go back into the cosmos. I like being in the cosmos. They're cool. Cool. There we go. All right. So highest self routine, wake up 2 hours before the sun. I mean, to each their own. This is just saying what mine is, right? 2, read. 3, nutrients, adaptogens, nootropics. You must. Like you must. Those are like I wake up, I have my warm lime water, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. And then I have my shot of adaptogens, my Ionic Supreme, and I have my nootropics. And then I start reading. Like it's my non-negotiable. I feel amazing. I feel like my brain is like growing. You know, it literally was clinically proven to increase gray brain matter in our brain. Like how insane. That is just the coolest thing. I just like, what other company has that? What other nootropics can say that? Anyways. Okay. Then scripting. Who's heard of scripting before? Put a 4 in the chat if you've heard of scripting before. So you probably have heard of journaling before, right? So journaling is very good. Journaling is more so in like current tense. This happened in my day. You know, I did this, I did that, this happened, right? Like that's usually what journaling is. Scripting is a manifestation technique because your mind, your thought has a frequency, your voice has a frequency, your writing has a frequency. The three together are a perfect harmony. So it's a way that you can harmonization your manifestations. But what you actually want to do is you want to write down what you've done in third person in past tense. So it's like Adriana Gentile maxed out her business center in June of 2024, and she felt so abundant. She couldn't believe this happened to her. All of the people she was serving, the events that were happening in her neighborhood, all of the lives that were being impacted from her sharing what has truly helped her in life. She felt so good. Every single Monday, she had $13,000 come into her bank account, and she was able to buy another horse for her daughter. And it was the best feeling in the entire world, right? Like, you get to write the script. You choose your character, you write your storyline, you live it out. So you want to forward project, because journaling is like in the past. And a lot of people can feel really down when they journal, right? It's like, I don't want to talk about what happened in my life, about it, like this just happened, right? Scripting is forward projecting. Journaling is past affirming. Scripting is forward projecting. We're pulling in the future. We're pulling it in. But remember, you really have to feel it. And it's okay if you fake it till you make it. Like, I understand. It's like, well, I really want this, but I don't really feel that way. This is because the synaptic connections in your mind just hasn't been fortified yet. So how are you going to fortify that reality for yourself if you don't even truly believe it? So at least you can start writing it out as if it's already done, and start training yourself to start believing in that actually happening and start feeling it like that. Like, we gotta build up that momentum, or else you are always going to believe in this past. This is going to be your reality. We're going to be stuck here when I'm giving you a solution to pull in your future. So scripting is really great. And then I do like to meditate. So I do a form of Kundalini. This is breathwork, mantra, meditation, whatever works for you. But I do believe it's really important to build a relationship with a higher power. That, you know, even like my father, he passed away last May. And my dad taught me the biggest life lesson from being on the other side, which is unconditional love. Like, he may not be here physically, but I can feel his love stronger than ever. And anytime I'm doing anything, I can feel his love, right? So if your higher power is a really special person that passed away in your life, if your higher power is God, if your higher power is angels, if it's whatever, you know, Buddhist, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Just really nurture that relationship, because it does elevate your consciousness. It gives you something to really believe in, and it makes you feel like you're not alone, because we're not. Like, in the quantum grid of everything, and if we really zoom out, the law of one states that I am you and you am me. When you fall, I fall. When I rise, you rise. We are all one. We are oneness. We are unity, harmonization, right? So just, if you're able to believe in something higher and plug into something higher and pray to that and ask and give permission and have gratitude. Did you know that gratitude is the highest frequency to receive? When you give thanks for having, even just waking up and seeing another life. Do you understand what a miracle it is? The fact that you opened your eyes today, that our body is fully functioning and our cells are communicating and our hearts are pumping, we have blood through our veins, and we can be here together, and you guys are in Brussels and I'm in Florida. Like, gratitude for even the silliest things really aren't. Like, it is a blessing that we're alive. So have that gratitude, and you'll receive so much more. And in the times of darkness and in despair, when you're struggling and you don't, and it's hard to feel abundant, and it's hard to, you know, feel these things, it's like, okay, I know I should be feeling abundant, but I'm not. How can I feel abundant if I'm not abundant? I get it. But it's changing that in your mind. It's not, I'm broke. It's, I am on my way to prosperous abundance. I am working on, prosperity is coming to me. You know, one of my biggest prayers that I pray is that I don't pray for customers. I pray for The people who need me will find me. It's a very powerful prayer. So really try to give that gratitude. That's why I think like meditation, prayer, it should be part of your highest self routine. Connect with something higher than you. Connect with something that's going to help guide your North Star. It's going to ground you and really have you give gratitude for the fact that you're just alive today, right? Working out, I do that every single day still. I still work out every single day, Michael Bocart. It's like a non-negotiable for me. I love moving my body. I may not be fully into the fitness industry at this time anymore, but it is a non-negotiable for me. I just love it, right? Then I spend time with my horse. Why do I have a horse? It sucks my bank account. Why do I have a horse? Pure joy. Pure joy. I live in joy when I'm with my horse. I that is just like literally pure joy. There is no financial gain whatsoever. This is not a smart investment move, but I made other investments, so I'm okay, you know. But it's like it invokes that childhood energy within me, and I get to play with that energy every single day, and it raises my consciousness, and I'm able to live in abundance, work from 12 to 5, and live very abundantly, invest in the things that I want to do, travel to where I want to go, say yes to the things, right? Like it all pays off in the end. So, anyways, and then I work. So the bottom line is that you cannot build an empire off of a rickety foundation. You just cannot. You can try to go and push and push and push and push. This is like old hustle culture mentality, but you will burn out. It will not be fulfilling. You must build a foundation of your highest self so that you can build your empire. This is just fact. So the last thing I'd like to leave it on is another like spiritual thing on, you know, billionaires is just funny. But did you know that the only difference between billionaires and us is their ability to make decisions quick enough? But why is that? Is because they're so attuned with their intuition. They hear a download, they act on it now. This is my really big takeaway for all of you, is that I want to remind you that thought is a frequency, right? Don't just think that this just came into your mind and everybody else has it and like that's it. No, it came to you for a purpose. But it's the moment that we go from our heart to our head and we try to use logic, that is the killer of all dreams. You have to believe in your heart when you get that message, that intuition, that little voice in your head. Don't disregard it. Learn how to attune to it, how to trust it, how to trust that everything is happening in divine timing. What is meant for you will never pass you by. Then you can start to relax a little bit, and then everything starts flowing to you. The only other difference is that they really have the mindset around that they either win or they learn, right? So same with you and all of your businesses. Are we either winning? Are we getting the result, or are we learning so we can evolve into the person who gets those results? So the takeaway aligned action I'd love to give with all of you today is 3 of them. One is to take note of what is your highest self routine. So write that down, bring awareness around, because with awareness gives the power of choice. When you have awareness, I don't have a highest self routine. You're now in the fork in the road of, okay, do I create one? Okay, how about this awareness? Am I receiving the results that I'm looking for in my business right now? Yes, no. If you are, great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going. This call was great, you know, whatever. But if you're not seeing the results that you're looking for in your business, take a step back and say, hey, maybe what she was saying, you know, maybe it's true. Let me just try to create a highest self routine. So with awareness creates the power of choice. I have it or I don't, right? So 1, do you have a highest self routine? 2, what are your limiting beliefs or your blocks? Where are you struggling the most in your business right now? Is it connecting with people? Is it content? Do you feel like, you know, you don't have enough time in the day to post? Is it that you know that you're really terrible at follow-up? Are you, you know, is it the limit that you feel like you're not touching on people enough? You know, you're not keeping your customers engaged? Like, what is the limit? Bring awareness to the limit. I really encourage you to choose one thing that is your limit and face it head on. Why I'm saying that is because it becomes really difficult when you're looking at the entire mountain. You got to climb that whole mountain. Oh my Lord, that's massive. No. 1 foot in front of the other. master one skill. Don't be in fear. It's like, okay, if I master this, but then all of this is still not good. Like, it's okay. Like, you will get a lot further by focusing on one area that you really need to be better at. And then you get into the next one, then you do the next one, and it's a compound effect, right? And then by the time you know it, you have climbed the whole mountain. But also with that is also realize that your limiting beliefs or your blocks are just thoughts. They're not actually true. You're not bad at connecting with people. You're just learning how to connect with people better. Because if you believe that you're bad at connecting with people, that will be your reality. That will be your truth. But if you just change the perspective on it, is that you are becoming better at communicating with people. You're getting better at connecting with people. That will become your truth, and you will become better at it, because that's just how it works. You can't pass by the laws. It's just how it works. Okay. And then the last one is to script. I really encourage you all tonight. I know it's like almost 9:30, which thank you so much for giving me your time this evening. Before you go to bed, script out what you would love this year to look like. Big, audacious goals and visions, but write it as if one third person. This is the beautiful story about a very special girl named Ilsa. She was an isogenics millionaire by June 2024, and right? Like, write it as if you're writing a script about a person, but that person is you. You get to write your script, right? And I encourage you to then, one, of course, you must feel how that feels. Like, really feel like if a smile comes on your face, you're doing it right. Right? But I really challenge you, take it or leave it. I challenge you to do this for the next 30 days. Script out your life in third person, like it's already done, for the next 30 days, and watch the harmonization of your manifestations turn out to be your physical reality. That's how you do it. And that's it. Any questions?
Oh my God, Adriana, thank you so much. I'm like, okay, I can listen to this like for 5 more hours. I don't know, but
Thanks, guys.
it's so powerful. So thank you so much. I don't know if anyone has questions or want to ask something. It's the moment.
Open book.
In the meantime, Adriana, I want to honor you for trusting yourself, for being an embodiment of your truth, for guiding people back into their hearts, for guiding them home. So I want to honor you for that.
Thank you. I received that. I just love you guys so much. I just know what guides your North Star. I just know that we really do connect on that same level. I mean, in truth, right? Like attracts like. We're on the same frequency to that degree to still even be here together at this time. So, that speaks volumes too. We are very much the same, and our hearts are all in the same place. I'm just so grateful for everyone. Do you mind if I take a photo?
No.
Oh, Adriana, maybe share with our team where they can find you.
Oh, sure. I'll put it in the chat here at I'm.AdrianaG. There we go. And then you'll see like Good Vibes Partners is our team. And then I have a separate Instagram for that. And I run it like a little, it's really cool. I love the way that we figured it out now.
Beautiful.
Okay. We ready, everyone? Oh shoot. You know when it's all like blurry? Terrible. Okay. Okay. Oh shoot. Ready? All the way from Brussels. Hello, everyone. So cool. Well, if there's no questions, I have one last. I have a prayer book, and I pulled it out, and I landed on a page just before this call, so I'd love to read it to all of you, okay? So, blessed be my soul, that as a creature I may relate to the congregation for creativity and thank the creativity of God within me and without me. May each day be like that. May I always relate to my higher consciousness, that is my dignity and my destiny. May that destination be nearer and nearer clearer and clearer, so that the dust and the confused life around me may be eliminated. May I rise to the truth, live in truth, and respond to the truth with the force of truth. I feel like that was really perfect for us tonight.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for sharing. Thank you for your inspiration, like everything. I think everyone is so excited. So thank you so much for bringing this to our team.
Love you all very much. We're in a good place here, you know. Isogenics is a really beautiful company with really beautiful people, and only like energy attracts like energy, right? So when somebody comes into your life and they're here with you, like they're on that same destiny path, and you can feel so good about that. If people are not, that's okay. It's not meant for you. And always remember that what's meant for you won't ever pass you by. So if you keep to your belief of what you feel this can do for you, the intention that you set out for yourself, you face all of your challenges, you don't give up, you keep going. If sometimes you got to take a pause to step forward, that's okay. Just don't ever stop, right? It will happen for you. You're just evolving through it. That's all. Okay. So I will see you all at Celebration next year.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, thank you so much, Adriana. Hope we see you soon, like in September, maybe. Yeah, celebrations. So
For sure. For sure. Hope to see
Thank you.
all of your beautiful faces there.
We will.
Love you all. Be the light and the love that the world needs right now. Arrivederci.
Bye-bye.
Oh.